for taking time out of your busy back to troop season, out of your busy inventory season to take this time to do this webinar with us to learn about gsmcouncil.org, the wholesale site, and the NetSuite Customer Center. So I just wanted to make sure, can everyone see my screen and hear me?
If anyone's having problems either seeing the screen or hearing us, please let us know in the chat. It looks like people are all saying yes, 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 all is okay. So we have, this is Tom Hassett from Girl Scout Merchandise, Chief Marketing and E-Commerce Executive in charge of the websites and the marketing for GSM. And we have Malika Miller, who is the
GSM E-Commerce Specialist.
GSM E-Commerce Specialist. Also joining us today is Andy Zimmerman, who is the Project Manager for OpSuite. And we also are just waiting on Doug Tangai, who is the GSM Operations Director, who's also going to be representing OpSuite. We also have a special guest, Tara Bowers, who is the retail operations out at the Nassau County Council retail store, and she'll be talking today about her experience with the wholesale site. So we had 126 people registered for this webinar, so we're still waiting for a few people. We have 90 on so far. So we'll just give it a few more minutes, probably another minute or a minute and a half for more people to log on. So we'll be back in about a minute or so. Hi everyone, this is Tom Hassett again. Welcome back. So we did get a few more people to come on. So if you missed the original introduction, this is a webinar to review the Girl Scout Merchandise wholesale website where councils can go and order merchandise 24/7, 365. It's also to discuss the Customer Center where you can go and check on your orders and your statements, etc., and also give you an update on the OpSuite integration if you are an OpSuite council. So again, this is Tom Hassett, e-commerce and marketing executive for Girl Scout Merchandise. We have the e-commerce administrator, Malika Miller. We have Doug Tangai, who is the GSM operations strategist, and Andy Zimmerman, who is the project manager for OpSuite. Also, a special guest we're going to have a little later this morning is Tara Bowers, who's the retail operations at the Nassau County Council for Girl Scouts, and she'll talk about her experience using the wholesale site. So we're going to, just some housekeeping. If you'd like to ask a question, we're going to answer the questions as we go along. Please use the question box or you can use the chat, but we prefer you use the question box, and we'll probably answer questions at the end. We are going to give about 20-25 minutes towards the end to answer the questions, for you to ask questions and all of that. And we're going to start with 2 poll questions right away. So I'm going to launch the first poll question. Is, do you currently use the wholesale site? You answer yes or no.
Are you using answer?
69% of the votes are in. 72% of the votes are in. We're going to close it when we get to 80%. Okay, we're closing. So we have 42% of the participants today out of the 93 who are on are saying yes, they do use the wholesale site today, and 58% say no. So one of our objectives today is to get more people to be using the wholesale site, and we'll show you some reasons why you should be using the wholesale site and other things that you can do besides ordering. So now the second poll question is, do you currently use the NetSuite Customer Center? Again, it's a yes or no. $52, 57%, 65%. We're going to close it at 80% when we get to 80% of the participants answering. Okay, so very interesting that we have more people using the wholesale site. So only 26% of the people saying they're using the customer center and 74% not using it. So I think we have some work there, and we'll show you what the customer center is all about and how you can make use of that in your everyday operations at your council. So I'm going to turn it over to Malika now to start the presentation on the wholesale site.
This past April, we announced the launch of gsmcouncil.org and the NetSuite Customer Center, online destinations for all your GS strategies. To date, almost 80 councils have signed up for access, and they're now enjoying the benefits of simple living. Over $1.25 million of business has been submitted through gsmcouncil.org, with an average transaction amount of a little over $2,000 each. You've submitted orders with as few as 5 lines to as many as 195 lines. gsmcouncil.org has the capacity to accept up to 999 lines. The point is, no order is too large or too small for us to handle. Let's take a look around and see what the buzz is about. The first thing you'll notice is the familiar look and feel of the retail site. We've made shopping easy for our council customers by using common sense categories. Things like everything Daisy, everything Brownie, and everything Junior will yield exactly the results you expect. Everything Brownie has everything from core materials to accessories. One of the greatest things about using gsmcouncil.org is immediate gratification in terms of stock status. You'll know whether an item is in stock or out of stock, and you'll also know that it is available to be back ordered and shipped to you when it becomes available. Just like any other website, we use keywords to search for items. Keyword Numa will yield several results, including both the new and the old Brownie True numeral. Let's take a look at the old one. As we transition to the new material, several of the existing ones have been depleted. You'll see that they are out of stock. Meanwhile, we still have stock on numbers 3, 4, and 7, and they'll show up as in stock. It really is that easy. In addition to in or out of stock status, what if you forget what size the item comes in? I can't number of brand sets are available in plus sizes. Well, guess what? Using gsmcouncil.org will enable you to view the full size range of merchandise available. Let's take a look at the shopping cart. Here you'll see a list of items that have been added. Having second thoughts about that flag though? Click the X, it's gone. Don't want to be bothered with a back-ordered item? Click the X, it's gone. Maybe that customer is kind of troublesome and you know she's not going to come in to pick up the merchandise. Having second thoughts about the entire order? Simply click Empty Cart. Quick ordering is simple. Simply enter the item number you need and your quantity. Choose from the results displayed and add them to your cart. Something to keep in mind about your shopping cart is that it's shared amongst your council's users. Be sure to confer with your colleagues before emptying a cart. Always verify the merchandise in the cart and the shipping address before submitting an order. Checking out is simple. Simply verify the information. Click on Continue to move to the next screen. You're also given the option to enter a future ship date. Select the future ship date and enter your purchase order to continue. It's that simple. On the Review and Submit page, you're given the option to change your shipping method. So if you'd like to make this a rush order, simply change your ship method. To note though, you can't have a rush order with future shipping, so we'll leave it at that. In the future, we'll be introducing discounts exclusively for users of the wholesale site. So you'll notice this handy-dandy coupon code area. Look forward to coupons. Hit continue and you'll be submitting your order. In just a few moments, you'll be able to receive a confirmation number, and the confirmation will be sent to the email on record for your council. There goes my confirmation. And it's just that simple. We've already placed an order. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a local shop ordering newbie, the FAQ page is chock full of information to make your GSM interaction easy. Information on council fees, size chart, product safety guidelines, insignia placement, are all listed here. Also, information such as the return policy and how to format your return. All vital information at your fingertips. Clicking on the link for my account will take you to a host of other information. You'll be able to see your statement, see your outstanding orders, read order items, and coming soon, my downloads. We can see that Nassau County has been very busy placing their orders. This information can be sorted by clicking on the header of the column. Now we'll see her most recent orders and her order statuses. Who needs to call customer service during customer service hours when you can log on at your convenience and get the information? that we've had an overview of gsmcouncil.org, let's take a look at the NetSuite Customer Center to see what that's all about. Logging in is simple. Use the same credentials you use to sign into gsmcouncil.org.
People can't hear you.
The Customer Center will provide you with lots of the same information provided on the My Account tab on gsmcouncil.org. Here, you also have the ability to print a statement, see orders, see items ordered, and coming soon, My Downloads. You also have the option to review the Accounts Receivable Register, the
Okay, I understand that you guys are having trouble hearing me. Is that right?
They're all saying they can't hear you. Can some of the participants, I think you're saying that you can hear me, but you can't hear Malika. Can you respond back whether you can hear? Can you hear me now?
I'm saying if they can't hear you, it's because they're picking it up from that speaker.
Okay.
If they can't hear you, it's because you're coming out of these speakers, right?
Isn't that over there to pick that up?
I just don't think it's picking it up.
All right, so they can hear me. Okay.
How close can I get those mics to that speaker?
We're going to make some adjustment, and then we'll have to start the audio of Malika's again.
Can we try it?
I'm going to start playing again, and please let us know if you are able
Turn
to hear
request and to see all transactions. GSM. Now that we've had an overview of gsmcouncil.org, let's take a look at the NetSuite Customer Center to see what that's all about. Logging in is simple. Use the same credentials you use to sign into gsmcouncil.org. The Customer Center will provide you with lots of the same information provided on the My Account tab on gsmcouncil.org. Here, you also have the ability to print a statement, see orders, see items ordered, and coming soon, My Downloads. You also have the option to review the Accounts Receivable Register, the Return Request, and to see all transactions. Here, you can also see the status of your request. A list of orders, their status, and tracking numbers are available. Again, much of this information is available on the wholesale site, gsmcouncil.org, by clicking on the link for My Account. It's that simple. We've got item status, check. Prices, check. Images, check. Order status, check. This place is great.
Can you say that?
Okay. Because some of you were unable to hear the other presentation, we're going to step back for a moment and go back to part 3 My Account, and FAQs. All the way back?
Yeah, we're going to start from the very beginning.
Whether you're At the Shop Managers Conference this past April, we announced the launch of GSMCouncil.org and the NetSuite Customer Center, online destinations for all your GSM needs. To date, almost 80 councils have signed up for access and are now enjoying the benefits of simple living. Over $1.25 million of business has been submitted through GSMCouncil.org with an average transaction amount of a little over $2,000 each. You've submitted orders with as few as 5 lines to as many as 195 lines. GSMCouncil.org has the capacity to accept up to 999 lines. The point is, no order is too large or too small for us to handle. Let's take a look around and see what the buzz is about. The first thing you'll notice is the familiar look and feel of the retail site. We've made shopping easy for our council customer by using common sense categories. Things like Everything Daisy, Everything Brownie, and Everything Junior will yield exactly the results you expect. Everything Brownie has everything from core materials to accessories. One of the greatest things about using GSMCouncil.org is immediate gratification in terms of stock status. You'll know whether an item is in stock or out of stock, and you'll also know that it is available to be back-ordered and shipped to you when it becomes available. Just like any other website, we use keywords to search for items. Keyword numeral will yield several results, including both the new and the old Brownie Troop numerals. Let's take a look at the old ones. As we transition to the new materials, several of the existing ones have been depleted. You'll see that they are out of stock. Meanwhile, we still have stock on numbers 3, 4, and 7, and those show up as in stock. It really is that easy. In addition to in or out of stock status, what if you forget what size an item comes in? I can't remember if Brownie vests are available in plus sizes. Well, guess what? Using GSMCouncil.org will enable you to view the full size run of merchandise available. Let's take a look at the shopping cart. Here you'll see a list of items that have been added. Having second thoughts about that flag though? Click the X, it's gone. Don't want to be bothered with a back-ordered item? Click the X, it's gone. Maybe that customer is kind of troublesome and you know she's not going to come in to pick up the merchandise. Having second thoughts about the entire order? Simply click Empty Cart. Quick ordering is simple. Simply enter the item number you need and your quantity. Choose from the results displayed and add them to your cart. Something to keep in mind about your shopping cart is that it's shared amongst your council's users. Be sure to confirm with your colleagues before emptying a cart. Always verify the merchandise in the cart and the shipping address before submitting an order. Checking out is simple. Simply verify the information. Click on Continue to move to the next screen. You're also given the option to enter a future ship date. Select the future ship date and enter your purchase order to continue. It's that simple. On the Review and Submit page, you're given the option to change your shipping method. So if you'd like to make this a rush order, simply change your ship method. Do note, though, you can't have a rush order with a future ship date, so we'll leave this at best. In the future, we'll be introducing discounts exclusively for users of the wholesale site, so you'll notice this handy-dandy coupon code area. Look forward to coupons. Hit continue and you'll be submitting your order. In just a few moments, you'll be able to receive a confirmation number, and a confirmation will be sent to the email on record for your counsel. Ah, there goes my confirmation. And it's just that simple. We've already placed an order. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a counsel shop ordering newbie, the FAQ page is chock full of information to make your GSM interactions easy. Information on how to obtain size chart, product safety guidelines, insignia placement are all listed here. Also, information such as the return policy and how to format your return. All vital information at your fingertips. Clicking on the link for My Account will take you to a host of other information. You'll be able to see your statement, see your outstanding orders, read order items, and coming soon, My Downloads. We can see that Nassau County has been very busy placing their orders. This information can be sorted by clicking on the header of the column. Now we'll see her most recent orders and her order statuses. Who needs to call customer service during customer service hours when you can log on at your convenience and get the information? You can look at your sales orders, determine their status, and get tracking information. Going back to the My Account tab, you can also look at your statements. You can get your balances of any date. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now that we've had an overview of gsmcounsel.org, let's take a look at the NetSuite Customer Center to see what that's all about. Logging in is simple. Use the same credentials you use to sign into gsmcounsel.org. The Customer Center will provide you with lots of the same information provided on the My Account tab on gsmcounsel.org. Here, you also have the ability to print a statement, see orders, see items ordered, and coming soon, My Downloads. You also have the option to review the Accounts Receivable Register, see return requests, and to see all transactions. Here, you can also see the status of your request. A list of orders, their status, and tracking numbers are available. Again, much of this information is available on the wholesale site, gsmcouncil.org by clicking on the link for My Account. It's that simple. We've got item status, check. Prices, check. Images, check. Order status, check. This place is great. I was at the conference when this was discussed. If you are on OpsSuite RMS, do you use this site as well? Is this one and the same? If you currently use OpsSuite to create purchase orders, you most likely will not want to use the wholesale site to place orders, as you will still need to create a purchase order in OpsSuite so that you can receive the order in OpsSuite. Placing orders on the GSM wholesale site will not update your OpsSuite records. GSM is working on integration between OpsSuite and NetSuite for release in the future, so when you create your order in OpsSuite, you will be able to submit directly into NetSuite without faxing or calling the order into customer service. OpsSuite councils need to continue to follow their current process of ordering until the integration is released. Keep in mind, access to the wholesale site will allow you to view all GSM items and pricing descriptions and images. The wholesale site will also have other useful information for councils regarding processes and procedures, so it can act as an information tool for all councils, whether on OpsSuite or not. In addition to accessing the wholesale site, gsmcouncil.org, for order submission, your council can access the Customer Center, which can be used by all councils, whether on OpsSuite or not. The NetSuite Customer Center will allow you to view orders, statements, and more. I am unable to access the wholesale purchasing website. I haven't logged on in a while, and I'm getting a message saying that I do not have permission to access. Can you check on this? Sure thing. Password resets are simple. Just send an email to ecommercegroup@girlscouts.org. I tried to place an order on the wholesale site for one of my council shop locations, and the message came up showing it was an invalid address. Can you help? In cases like this, some piece of information is missing from the customer record. Once the missing information has been entered, order submission will be easy. For errors like this, send an email to ecommercegroup@girlscouts.org. I'm trying to order convention items but can't seem to find the magnetic Silvertone pin, number 12301, on the wholesale site. Could you let me know if it is available? If at any time you are unable to locate an item on gsmcouncil.org, send an email to ecommercegroup@girlscouts.org to have it added. Some time back, I signed onto the wholesale side of the online shop. Now, when I enter the website, I only get the wholesale information. Is there a way to go to the retail info without logging out and entering through a search engine? It gets rather frustrating. Please note that the retail site, girlscoutshop.com, is different from the wholesale site, gsmcouncil.org. Information provided on the wholesale site is exclusively for GS Council consumption, whereas anyone can access information provided on the retail site. For retail information on items, you may continue to visit girlscoutshop.com or contact the customer service department. We cannot add retail pricing information to the wholesale site, as that would then also reveal wholesale pricing information on the retail site. We ask that users refrain from logging into the retail site with wholesale credentials, as confusion may arise with pricing and items offered. I wanted to let you know that we are being charged tax on our invoices. Avalara has confirmed that the issue is on their end that has caused wholesale orders and or invoices to include tax. They sent a software patch, and as of 9/22/14, the issue has been resolved. Should you receive an invoice where sales tax has been added, please notify GSM Claim at girlscouts.org so that the invoice can be credited and reissued. Just a thought, has GSM looked into maybe getting an approval on the wholesale site before an order is actually submitted? Like the Quill order website. We pick our items we want and then we submit the order, but it goes to our supervisor to approve and then it's submitted to Quill. Does that make sense? This solution may work for approvals. If the supervisor also has access to the wholesale site, The person creating the order can put the items in the cart and wait until the supervisor logs in to see the shopping cart, and then the supervisor can submit the order. Order tracking cannot be completed through the wholesale site, though tracking. Is there a way to track packages with tracking numbers for orders placed through this website? Order tracking cannot be completed through the wholesale site, though tracking numbers are available. Click on My Account, then See Orders to be taken to a list of your sales orders. Provided that some portion of your order has shipped, tracking numbers will be displayed. In general, numbers beginning in 1Z can be tracked on the UPS website. Those beginning in 96 or 007 can be tracked on the FedEx site. There will be exceptions, but these usually work. Okay, so I wanted to take this opportunity to turn it over to Tara Bowers of Nassau County, who is so kind to join us today. And she'll provide a little bit of user feedback and her experience with using gsmcouncil.org and the NetSuite Customer Center. Tara?
Hi.
Hi, Tara.
Hi. Well, just to let everyone know, I was one of the first users on the wholesale site, and I mean, there's just so much advantage to using it. I don't have to keep a piece of paper running list of items I might need. I just log in and I can hold items in a shopping cart just as if you were shopping online at your favorite stores. And I can just add things as I see, and I don't need those little sticky notes saying, oh my God, I'm out of this number, or I'm out of this, to remember for that last minute order. So that has greatly increased my accuracy in my reorders as well. Another of our benefits that we found is I'm receiving my orders a lot faster. Being in New York, yes, I receive my orders very quickly. Usually we're only a 1 day. But if I call in on a Monday, say 12 noon, 1 o'clock to the customer service, I won't get my order until Wednesday. I am now finding that I would get it the next day because the system is automatically filling my order straight to the warehouse instead of going through a third party. I mean, those are my biggest benefits, aside the fact that I have my statements on demand. I can look back to any PO I've created in real time if there's a question about anything that I've ordered, a lot easier than going through my RMS system or even my paper methods. I mean, is there any questions or anything that I might be able to answer for anyone?
Okay, thank you, Tara. We're going to be answering questions. There's some questions coming in. A lot of them are around the same subject. So thank you so much for sharing. Sorry we're kind of rushing through that. We had to start the presentation over. But now we want to turn this over to Andy and Doug to talk about the OpSuite integration, because there are quite a few questions about that. There's councils out there that are on OpSuite, so do they use this? Should they do double work? So they're going to talk about the timeline for the integration. So Doug and Andy.
Hi, it's Doug Tangway. Those of you that were at the retail conference in April, we had told you that we were working on the integration, and we were in fact working on the integration at that time. I think at that time we had given an estimated timeline of around 60 days. And I just wanted to give you a status of where we are with that. During our testing of the integration between OpSuite and NetSuite, we discovered that we missed a very important piece, and that was around the capability in OpSuite of being able to enter one purchase order for multiple store locations. And what What we discovered through our testing was that purchase orders for multi-store locations were coming in as one purchase order, and we're not breaking out into individual POs for individual ship-to locations. When we discovered that, we worked with Positive Technology on understanding a little bit better the structure of the data that they were sending to us, and we're now in the process of working with our developer on the integration side to accommodate and to manage appropriately the information and the ability to break out those purchase orders for each separate ship-to location. Right now, we're expecting I'm expecting that might take another 45 days or so until that coding is done and ready to test again. So again, we're looking at probably another month to month and a half until that's all in a place where we're ready to test. When we are ready to go live with it, you can expect to get an email from Andy Zimmerman. As you've been getting emails from Andy Zimmerman telling you that it is not live right now. So for those of you who are OpSuite councils, if you are still operating under the premise that when you click the Order Placed button, it is automatically being integrated into NetSuite, that is a false premise. That is not happening today. And as soon as we are ready to launch it and make it available and make it public, we will certainly send you an email to let you know. But we wanted to let you know what the issue was that we discovered, and the fact that we want to make sure that we get it right before we make it public. So if you are placing purchase orders through OpSuite, you still need to get those POs to the customer service department for them to be entered into NetSuite. You can do that through a phone call. You can do that by emailing them to gsmorder at girlscouts.org. But you need to do that. You need to continue that process. So that is the update on the OpSuite NetSuite integration.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I think we're going to go to some of the questions, and we have all the answer people here. A lot of it was about the OpSuite integration that I'm seeing on the questions, and some people went a little further in that if you are an OpSuite council, you still can use the wholesale site for a combination of things, to look up items, look at images, pricing. If you want to place an order through the wholesale site and you are an OpSuite council and you do so, you still have to create the order in OpSuite so that you can receive it into your system. So it's just double work, but knowing that the integration is, somewhere 45 days or more away, you may want to do that. Then we had some people questioning, is it faster to place the orders through the wholesale site and get your orders faster? Well, everything is relative. So like Tara was saying, you're cutting out the middle person. If you are sending your order to customer service to be key punched, somebody actually has to sit there and key punch it. If you're doing it through the wholesale site, that process itself is faster, and you get into the queue faster. So, it's all about volume. So therefore, you're in the queue faster, and the distribution center will be working on your order as soon as they can. Somebody that's key punching the order still has to key punch it, so it's not getting into the system as fast. So that sort of answers that. If you place an order through customer service, you can go to the customer service center and see your orders. That was a couple of questions. If you're using the current process of either creating the order in OpSuite and faxing it or emailing it to customer service for them to key punch, once the order is in the system, yes, you can go to the customer center and you will see your orders. So that was one of the questions. The tracking numbers are there for your orders, and but there's no link from the tracking number to the carrier. You would have to have the carrier browser open, so then you could cut and paste the tracking number for UPS, FedEx, etc. So that was one of the questions there as well. If a few people, I know we went quickly through the presentation, and this is all being recorded and will be posted to Pearl and to the Retail Experience, so you can look at it at your leisure. The reason we recorded Malika's pieces is so that we could go back and post them, and you could look at them at your leisure. But if you have any questions regarding the wholesale site, the email address is ecommercegroup@girlscouts.org, and that goes to a group of people here, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible with any updates or questions or changes you needed. So a few people asked that they don't see some of the items on the wholesale site. You would email ecommercegroup@girlscouts.org, and our turnaround is usually within 24 hours because we do have 3 or 4 people looking at that email address. So keep your questions coming in. Let's see. Someone asked if I'm seeing some good future things that we could do, because somebody was asking, could we tag certain items that you place on the wholesale order based on the customer? That's a good suggestion, so that you know when you get it in what customer that's for. I've written that down as maybe a future enhancement that is not available right now. We did answer about if you're an OpSuite customer. If you're just wanting to use the Customer Center, you would go to netsuite.com, and you would use your credentials to sign in, and that's how you get into the Customer Center. It's the same credentials as using for the wholesale site. If you're using the wholesale site, you go to the sign-in page, and you go to My Account, and you see the information. If you don't have credentials, please contact Malika at mmillar2@girlscouts.org, and she will send you the form. The form has to be approved by a supervisor in your council for the people that can use both the wholesale site and the Customer Center. Let's see what else is coming in. So we answered that. How do you get to the NetSuite Customer Center? I knew somebody would ask, what kind of coupons could you expect in the future? So what we talked to Barry about is similar to at the April conference, where we offered free shipping on new items and things like that, that we could do that through the wholesale site as well. So nothing is really available right now, but we wanted to build in that feature so that if we wanted to discount a group of items and give a discount for a period of time, we could offer that to councils. And don't worry, if we offer it on the wholesale site, we would also offer it if it was key punched as well, because the coupons can be used both on the site as well as for the customer service people to enter. Okay, we have a question, and maybe Doug, you can answer this. It would be very helpful for the AR register or order history to reference both the invoice and the SO number for ease of lookup. And also with that, since the invoice has freight added to the total, it makes it very difficult to track down an order, especially if you have multiple locations. Any plans to add this information to either or both locations? Also add ship to locations into the AR register.
Okay. Do you have, I'm stuttering. because I don't honestly know. These are standard NetSuite reports. So I don't know what's available to us in terms of the data that we can expose in the standard NetSuite reports or not.
Okay.
But you're keeping it.
Right. So what happens with all the questions, if we can't answer it here today, is they all get recorded, and we'll feed the answers back. You know, if we don't have an answer right now, we'll get an answer, or it could be a future enhancement. So that's good. Will you be able to restrict who can submit orders prior to submitting? Yes, that's through the form to get access. The council needs to tell us who has access to ordering on the wholesale website and who has access to using the customer center. Okay, what else? Other questions? Can I just toss a case of Girl Guides on my order, or do I still need to place an order for Girl Guides only? Not really sure of that question.
That's the SL, but it doesn't link.
So I'm looking through more of the questions. If you have more questions, keep them coming. Again, if you have questions after the webinar, you can certainly send questions to ecommercegroup@girlscouts.org. And again, we'll be posting this presentation to Pearl and the retail experience. So yes, a few more questions about the OpSuite integration. Until that happens, you would have to do double work in that you have to create the order in OpSuite. Then if you want to use the wholesale site, you would enter the order in wholesale. The reason you need to do it in OpSuite is so that you can receive it into your system. Please remember, if you are going to do that, do not send the order as well to customer service, because then you're going to duplicate the order. So if you are going to create it in OpSuite, print it out, and then go onto the wholesale website and enter the order. Do not send the order to customer service. Another good idea, and we're playing around with this ourselves, there currently is no integration with the vendors. So you're asking whether we can have the on-hands and availability of items on the wholesale site. We're wary of that in that it may not be that accurate. So at this time, we don't offer that, but that is something that we're looking at for a future enhancement, that it would also show the on-hands. I think sooner than that, somebody else said, would we also show the case packs? That is something on our roadmap, that for the wholesale site, we would show the standard case packs for items. So that will come sooner than later.
You know, Tom, just something about that on hand. It does show if you order over a certain amount that there's not enough in stock. Because I just had that happen to me the other day with my council IDs. I ordered 800 and it said, change your number, there's only 500 in stock.
Exactly.
So it does give you a good update if you over-order what's available.
Yes, that is a standard feature of NetSuite and both sites. Even if you did it on the retail site, if a retail customer ordered more than we have, it'll get a message saying that you've ordered too much and to change your quantity. But for exact quantities on hand, we don't currently have that. We will be coming out with a statement about cookie dough and cookie credits to be used. That is a separate issue. That's Barry is working on that statement of where we are with that feature. Still not understanding this question about, up to this point, Girl Guides needed to be placed on a separate order. Can we mix them with other merchandise?
That hasn't been in place for quite some time.
Yeah, that is no longer a requirement. That they can be placed on the order with other merchandise. So, okay, we do have to end because we only committed to an hour. So somebody just said, is the wholesale site down right now? Not that we know of, but as soon as we come off the call, we'll check. Again, it's gsmcouncil.org. It's not .com. The retail site is a .com. gsmcouncil.org is the wholesale, and we're looking at it now, and it's up. So, again, keep your questions. If you'd like to send them to ecommercegroup@girlscouts.org. We'll get back to you, and we'll go through the other questions, but I think most of them were about the OpSuite integration as well as how to get onto the site. If you do not have, your council does not have credentials, or you're on this call and you need to get credentials, please contact Malika at mmillar2@girlscouts.org, and she will send you the form. It does need to be signed and approved by a supervisor at your council. She'll send all the instructions, and she'll turn around that pretty quickly. Again, we have over 70 councils who are on, and you use the credentials both for the wholesale site as well as the customer center. Again, we recorded this, and we'll be posting this as soon as possible to Pearl and to the retail experience. We thank everyone for participating, and as soon as the OpSuite integration is ready, we'll probably be holding another webinar and give you the instructions for that. So we thank you very much, and have a great day. For those who are going to convention, have a great convention. Rachel Kane.